Hi, good evening.
Buenas noches.
Who are you and how old are you?
Mi nombre es Eunice Rocha Zúñiga y soy abuela de Brianna Tacla. Tengo 56 años de edad.
Okay. Y where were you born and where did you grow up?
Nací en la ciudad de Madero, Tamaulipas, México, hasta la edad de 15 años, que fue cuando emigré aquí a Brownsville, Texas.
Okay. Y do you have any experiences that helped you grow as a person and what are they?
Bueno, para poder contestar eso tengo que decir que fui criada por mi abuela materna desde la edad de 4 meses, muy consentida por ella, todo me daba a sus posibilidades, ya que éramos humildes. Después murió cuando yo tenía como 8 años y quedé a cuidado de una tía materna que fue muy estricta. Me mandaba a buscar trabajo a esa edad, pues decía que me tenía que ganar el pan que comía y el techo donde vivía. Y es por eso que decidí a cierta edad de los 15 por ahí a emigrar aquí a Estados Unidos. Y gracias a mi Dios que todo eso me ayudó hoy en día a valerme por mí misma. Y como pude con mi poca educación y a salir adelante, pues ya que tengo mi propio negocio, gracias a mi Señor Jesucristo, es todo lo que puedo decirte.
¿Tienes algo más que quieres decir? No.
Es todo por el momento. Creo que ahí resumí mi vida.
Pues gracias.
Ándale, mi hija.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
My first question is, who are you and how old are you?
My name is Ashley Cavazos. I am 28 years old and I am your aunt.
Thank you. And the second question is, where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in Brownsville, Texas, and I grew up in Brownsville and San Benito and now in Harlingen.
Okay. And the third question is, do you have any experiences that helped you grow or shape you as a person, and what are they?
One experience that I had in my life was my parents' divorce, because I was 9 years old and I took it pretty hard, and I didn't or couldn't quite accept the changes of having to see my father every other 2 weeks when I was just so attached to him. Then eventually my relationship with my mother became kind of rocky, and we would always get into arguments, which led me to go move in with my father. And I left at 19 from my father's house to move in with my now husband, and I've been happy ever since.
Would you say that living with your father was much different from living with your mother?
It was different in the sense because my mother was very strict, and I understood that as a mother, she wanted to protect me, but at the same time, I felt like she always kept enclosed. Like she kept me enclosed in the house where I couldn't experience much of my 18, 17 years. So once I moved in with my father, he let me have that experience. He let me have more freedom, basically.
Wow. Is there anything else you would like to share or add?
No, I think that'll be it.
Well, thank you, and thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
We'll start off with the first question is, who are you and how old are you?
I am Brianna's stepdad. I am 37 years of age. and I've been raising Brianna since she was about 9 years old.
Yes. And the second question is, where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in Harlingen, Texas, and however, I was not raised in Harlingen. I was raised in the city of Bronzeville, Texas.
Okay. The third question is, do you have any experiences that helped you grow or shape you as a person, and what are they?
Yeah, there's several, but there's one that sticks out the most. I was born in a single parent household, just with my mother, poor, on welfare, social, food stamps, all sorts of government assistance. Saw my mom struggle as a single parent. And as I grew older, I've been able, of course, to grow out of the assistance of the government assistance. And I've been able to better my life and that of my families as I grew older. Seeing my mom struggle, saw the values of hard work. Don't take anything for granted. Always strive to do your best. Be humble. The world doesn't owe us anything. It's what you make of it. Some of those values I've tried to pass on to my family as I've been raising my 3 girls. That's just one example.
When you say hard work, what do you mean by that?
Well, as far as hard work, like I mentioned earlier, growing up in a single parent household and seeing my mom struggle with a government assistance, single parent, I saw that. I saw that she was the food stamps, and I saw all that. And then she was working. She gave up some of those government benefits. She didn't want assistance from the government. So when I say hard work, she was working 2 jobs. She was a waitress working 2 jobs, struggling to raise 2 children. Then she was able to better herself a little bit by working hard and was able to open up a restaurant. I saw that. I saw how she sacrificed time. She sacrificed a little bit of her family, but it was to better us. It wasn't just to leave us. So I saw her struggle, work hard, better herself to better her family. Some of my uncles also did the same thing. My uncles didn't go to school. My mom did not complete school. My uncles also worked in the labor business, in the construction work, did a scaffold building, which is out there in oil rigs, petroleum plants. They work hard out in the sun. They would come home, I would see them and talk to them, and they would show me their hands, and you see a lot of the calluses on their hands. And they would say, hey, study hard, work hard, study. You don't want to do what we do. So seeing my mom during her struggles, seeing my uncles, all of them work hard and always out in the sun, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to take their information, take their advice, work hard. And my mom always stressed the basic foundation of working hard was education. And I did. First generation of my family that went to college and completed it. My sister tried, but there were circumstances that prevented her from completing her school. But she's still at it. 20 years later, little by little. Myself, I went to school, I graduated. And then I got myself a nice career. I got myself my family. And now I'm trying to pass on the same things. And for me, it's always started with education. I'm a big proponent of education. Work hard and be better than, for my girls, I have 3 girls, will be better than me, be better than their mom, and keep working hard, and you'll be successful in the future.
Would you say that some of the family sacrifices that your mom made also apply to us today? How you and my mom work very hard to give us, the life that we have?
Yes. Mom worked a lot. She was always working. The lady would go to work at 5 a.m. Saw her very rarely. She would work from 5 to 1 and then go to another job from 3 to 10. So it was just me and my sister. We had our nanny. So we didn't see mom a lot. Then, as we got older, still saw her work a lot. Of course, we were already a little bit more independent on our own. It applies similar to, there are some similarities to the way me and your mom are raising you all. You know, police work, because we are in the line of police work, as you know, it requires us to shift work. So we miss a lot of events. We can't plan birthday parties like we want to. That we feel are some of the sacrifices we have to do in order to provide for you and your sisters the upbringing that you guys have. You know, we sacrifice a lot of time. We sacrifice a lot of events, school functions. We do our best to try to attend. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes you don't see us in our line of works, especially right now. I get a phone call and I have to go to work.
Talking about hard work and education, how did that apply to you when you were growing up, and how do you apply it to us, like me and my sisters?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about let me tell you a little something that happened when I was a kid. Once when grades, the 90s and the 80s, 90s mattered, I remember a time, one of the very first times that I showed up at my house, and I was very proud to have scored a bunch of 90s. There were 95s and below. And I went up to my mom and I told her, Mom, look what I got. She saw my report card. She saw it and she did a smirk. That's good, but you can do better. Okay. So, you know, I was like, okay, all right. In retrospect, when I think about that, I can say in my history, with my two of my girls, yourself and with Mia, you guys have shown up to the house with 90s, and I have used that same concept of you can do better, you can do better, you can do better. Good grades, but I always push you to do better, similarly to what my mom did to me. And I actually think that's a positive, not a negative.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No, just I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on about so many stories, many specifics. But the main thing is hard work and education. Those are two of the biggest things that I was raised with, and I've tried to apply that to my family.
Okay, well, thank you for your time and thank you for this interview.
Oh, you're very welcome, you lady.
Hi, my name is Brianna Gabrielle Tacla. I'm 19 going on 20. I was born and raised in Brownsville. For a short time, I lived in Indiana when I was a toddler, but I don't really remember much of it. I wanted to talk about my family stories and how they connected. My tia and my grandma's stories, they actually didn't know what each other had talked about, and I kind of like how they are similar. My grandmother grew up in a very strict home. The person who took care of her was sometimes a little harsh, kind of emotionally or verbally abusive, but she just grew up, you know, with her life tied on a leash, basically. And that kind of got incorporated into the way that my tia and my mom were raised. They were raised in a very strict household, according to them and my grandmother as well. And obviously my tia didn't like it, and my mom moved out, you know, after she turned 18. She didn't like it either, but they were raised well. And I see that my parents also incorporate that strictness into me and my sisters. You know, I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things that maybe other teenagers and kids were able to do, like getting a cell phone or having social media or hanging out with friends, things like that. And they will pass on into my sisters, and I'm pretty sure that that's something that we will probably all carry into our children. It's actually one of the biggest reasons that my tia does not want to have children. She doesn't want to be like that type of person, and that's why they have a dog. And also my dad's portion about hard work and having to do those sacrifices for us. I mean, we see them also in my grandmother. She worked hard to get a job and be able to provide for her 2 daughters. And the same thing, you know, my tia, when she moved out of my mom with my grandmother's, she had to grow up because my grandfather, he wasn't the same way. He wasn't there for her. And she had to grow up and learn these things by herself. Same thing with me and my sisters. My parents are often, you know, at work or doing their things that they have to do. They can't always be here. And for that reason, like, I had to grow up a little bit by myself, and I'm the one teaching my sisters sometimes, you know, how to do things or how things are done. And I know they're doing it for us, just like my grandma did, just like my mom did, and just like my dad's mom did, that they're doing all these things for us. And then that's something valuable to teach us, you know, that everything in this world, it comes with hard work. And that's how our generations are going to grow up. They're going to have to learn that everything takes work. It's not just given to you. Thank you for watching my video and learning about my family.